I have 2 minutes. I don't know if anybody's signed in at this point. Is anyone in there? Anyone signed in? If so, send an emoji. Click an emoji so it flies up the screen. Yeah. Well, hello there. We got a minute or so, and then we'll start. You're too far away for me to read who's there, so I'll have to check it afterwards. But thanks for joining in. So welcome. It is 11 o'clock. This is a foundational yoga class. And I am going to read from a book called The Great Within by Christian Larson. It was written in 1907. It's almost prophetic. To think about that which we do not want is to impress upon the subconscious mind what we do not wish to impress. And as every impression produces a corresponding expression, we will thereby receive the very things we desire to avoid. It is through this law that what we fear always comes upon us, because what we fear will impress itself upon the subconscious mind without fail. To fear disease, failure, or trouble is to sow seeds in the subconscious field that will bring forth a harvest of diseased conditions, troubled thoughts, confused mental states, and misdirected actions in mind and body. The more intense the fear, the deeper the subconscious impression, and the more we shall receive of that which we feared we would receive. Through the same law, we always receive what we continue to expect as we lift up our feelings and our thoughts. The more we have, and the more faith we have in the realization and attainment of that which has quality, superiority, and worth, the more deeply we impress the subconscious mind with those mental seeds that can and will bring forth the greater good we desire. So to have a knowing in the attainment of peace, harmony, health, power, ability, talent, and genius, while directing the subconscious mind to produce those things, is to cause those very things to be created within us in greater and greater measure. So as you think of you are, and as you put it into your subconscious mind, that's what makes the world go, and that's what makes you go. So if you're fearful of that which is going on out there, then you got to reverse that. You got to change that. You got to stop doing what you're doing that makes you fearful and go inside and create an internal environment that's greater than your external environment. And work from here, this guy, the heart center. Doing that makes a huge difference. It makes you a happier person also. So let's take a few minutes and go inside. Close your eyes. Close your eyes, breathe through your nose, sit up as tall as you can. If you're sitting in a chair, do not sit against the back of the chair, scoot forward. If you're on the floor, bring that lower back forward. Lift up through the sternum, continue to breathe through your nose, inhale and exhale. Start to slow down. Feel the breath slow down. As the breath goes, so do the emotions. Let everything just fall off of your shoulders. Let it slide off of you. Let go and surrender. One easy way of getting into the zone is to feel some aspect of that physical body of yours. Feel it. And stay so focused on feeling what you've chosen to feel that all else goes away. And bring your hands to your heart center. We're going to chant a single Om. So if you're home and alone, you can belt it out. And if not, you can belt it out anyway. So we're just going to do one single Om. Release your breath. Take a deep breath in. Om. Release your hands, lower your chin, lifting your chest, keeping your chin lowered, your head just hanging forward. And then begin to move your head and neck in a half circle. Take it into a full circle. Reverse direction. And come back to center. This is what you're going to do. You're going to take, I'm going to slide back so you can see all of me, including me on the mat. And take your right leg back. And when you do that, make sure that right foot is reaching straight back behind you, not right foot. Well, I'm mirroring again. So take your right foot. I got to stop mirroring. And the right foot is not going to be pointing to the left. All right, yeah, to the right. And then if this is challenging, take a blanket. You can put it underneath your left glute. That helps to balance you. If you don't have to do that, don't do that. And if this is really tight, just lean a little bit to your left. Okay? Otherwise, just start to walk back. You can lean to the left and walk back, or you can just walk straight back, depending on how tight you are in that right quad. And I like to slide a little side to side. I like to move my hips from right to left and back again. And that gets more of the band, left and right, of that right quad. Then what I do is get myself a glass of water and drink. But then what I do is I bend my left knee and I really move from side to side to expand that band to get the quad, the four muscles that comprise the quadricep. And then if you want to go back a little deeper, take it easy. This is the first stretch. You do not have to go far to feel this. For any of you who want to, pull your pubic bone up towards your chest. And you'll feel your right quad stretching a little bit more. Just that simple action. If going down all the way is doable for you, do that. All right, come on up. Lean to your left, kick that right leg out, and massage the knee joint if it's talking to you, or the top of the foot. And then when you're ready, take that left leg back. Same thing, that foot is going straight back, it's not kicking out to the left. And then start to work it. Go to where you need to go to. Now check in with your breathing. And quiet your mind. Focus in on the leg that's being stretched so that you're not entertaining other thoughts having nothing to do with what you're doing. One of the things you practice and teach yourself to do during a yoga class is to focus in on this thing called your body, your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body. And you keep them all here. You stay here. You're not mind wandering. You're working, in this case, the left quad. You're rolling from side to side. You might feel it in the foot. Oh, that hurts or whatever. You keep your mind as quiet as you can, the body relaxed, and you stay here. Maybe this feels good. You want to go deeper, go deeper. So for those of you who do meditate, your asana practice, your practice, what we're doing now of poses, is a preliminary step for a very good meditation. You learn to focus in on what you're doing right now. Focusing is a requisite for meditation. And then come on back up, lean to your right. Let that leg easily come out. Massage. Work whatever joint needs it. Shake the legs out in front of you. And then very simply, from your Dandasana or your staff pose, you're sitting up nice and tall, the feet are flexed and the toes are up at 12 o'clock. Just come forward into a forward bend. You don't have to go very deep. again, I prefer to move from side to side because it stretches one leg a little bit more than the other, and then I go to the other side, it switches, and it makes my stretch easier and more deep when I hold it long enough. Now sit up tall, bring your left foot in to the inside of the right quad. So you're in Janu Shirshasana. Janu is knee, Shirsha is head, and I really think it was kind of misnamed. You're trying to take the top of your head to the instep of your foot, not the forehead to the knee. So take your hands back behind you to start. And press forward a little bit so that your torso is going forward, but you're not rounding, you're staying lifted up. And just hold that pose because you might feel this tremendously in the back of that right leg. For those of you who are more flexible and can come forward without rounding, without collapsing the chest, the sternum is lifting, then do so. The right foot is at 12 o'clock. It's not rolling out to the right. It's straight up. It's in Tadasana, not in Shavasana. If you want, take your hands forward. And you can isometrically pull yourself deeper, keeping the chest lifted so you feel that stretch in that right hamstring. Now, grab your right leg with your left hand, either the outside of the shin, ankle, or foot. And then take your right hand out to the right so the right elbow is above the right wrist. And pull yourself forward and twist to your right at the same time. And then slowly unwind and come on up. And straighten that left leg. Bend the right, bring the right foot into the inside of that left thigh. You're doing the same thing here. Different side. Sit up tall. Take your hands back. Gently push yourself forward just a little bit, even if you're flexible, just a little bit. And lift up through the sternum. Lift up so much so you feel in your left hamstring. But lean forward. Keep your chin tucked. Ears are moving back. If you're able to go deeper and maintain extension, that is the length in the spine, then do so. And bring your hands forward if you are flexible enough. Isometrically grip your mat and pull. Using those hands to pull yourself forward. The toes remain straight up and you're lifting your sternum. Now come forward as deep as you can. Take your right hand to the outside of the left leg, left wrist underneath the left elbow. Come into a forward bend and twist to your left. And gently unwind and come on up. Straighten both legs, move around. Now scoot forward so that your feet are off your mat. Your legs are mostly off your mat. And take your legs wide, bring them back in. You're going to sit up tall, wide and back in. people with rags underneath their feet so they can polish the floor. Alright, now, when you bring them together, take the bottoms of the feet together. So you're not coming way in for butterfly, you're staying far away for diamond pose. And then you're going to grab onto your shins or your ankles. Once again, you're going to stay lifted up. You're actually going to use the arm strength and the back muscles, more so the back muscles. Contract your back muscles so your shoulder blades come together. And that is going to pull you forward. Now start to come down and you're going to start rounding pretty quickly. Begin to gently roll from side to side. And then roll up, pull your feet in, come into a butterfly, bring the lower back forward, start to move your knees so that they're not creating a stretch. You're just moving one up and the other down. And then they're now in opposition. Both knees going down at the same time, coming up at the same time, like a butterfly. And then press your knees down, pull yourself forward, lower back comes forward, chest lifts up, you get taller. Press those knees down. Now let the knees gently lift up, grab the outsides of your feet and lean back. So your feet are lifted. And if you cannot bring both feet up, keep your right foot down for right now and take your left leg out. The leg does not have to straighten, but if you can, do so. Bring it back in and take the right leg out. Bring it back in. Left leg goes out. Lift up your sternum. Keep it out. The right leg goes out. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Bring your legs together. Take them apart. Bring them together and apart. Come into floating butterfly. Clasp your hands. Come on down. Shake the legs up. All right. Let's come on to all fours. And from here, neutral table. Take your left arm, reach it forward, parallel to the floor. Set it down. Take your right leg, reach it back, parallel to the floor. Set it down. Now, how much did you move your torso in order to do that? Can you just move the arm, or do you do this? You shift. See if you can stay centered. So, right arm reaches forward. Stay centered. Lower it down. Left leg reaches back. Stay centered. Lower it down. The way you stay centered is you engage your abs. Do a few spinal waves. And now come back to your neutral table without moving anything but the limb move your right or your left arm, reach it forward, and your right leg, reach it back. Exhale them underneath. Inhale, open it up. Again. Lift that leg and that arm each time you extend. Keep moving with your breath. Hold it out. Set it down. Right arm reaches forward. Left leg reaches back. Exhale underneath. Inhale, open it up. And again. Nice, big, smooth, deep breath. Hold it out. Set it down. Come into cat. Breathe while here. Sit back on your heels. Sit up tall, so the toes are reaching back behind you. You're on the tops of the feet. Gently roll from side to side. For most of you, this is no big deal. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. We're going to curl the toes underneath and sit back. And then move your knees back so you can curl the toes even more. Then you're going to see if you can, without using your hands, come into a squat. And then slowly set the knees down. So if you want, put a blanket underneath your knees so you don't hit your knees hard when you're coming down. Do this 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times to just get a flow and get the feel of this. And then sit down. Good job. Alright, come forward, pick your feet up, move just your toes, and then circle your ankles. And then sit on your heels once again. That spine is nice and tall, it's open, shoulders are back, and the shoulders are in line with the hips. So if you're here, I want you to come here, straight up and down. Alright, kneel up, and step your right foot forward. Step it back. Left foot, and back. And again, if you want a blanket under your knees, put a blanket under your knees. And what you're going to do, you can use your arms for balance. We're just going to keep doing this, but we're going to start to slow the step forward down and the step back. We're going to slow it down. To the point where we do not put our foot down, we keep it floating. See, floating. When you bring it back, the knee is floating until you choose to put it down. You step the other foot forward, you're floating. Arms are helpful. You bring it back, you're still floating until you choose to put it down. Try that. You move that leg wherever you want. All right, come on up. We're going to do something very simple, and I do every now and again, because it's very good for cross-pollination. It's actually very good for left brain, right body, left body, okay? And as we start out, very simply, hand to the opposite knee, but as you keep moving your arms, cross the plane of the head. And this will help to connect left brain with the right side of the body, right brain with the left side of the body. If this is something that, well, we know this is beneficial, but if you have elderly people in your family and you want to do this with them while they're sitting down, some people cannot even move their legs, so, but if they just do this, and they're sitting, so they're like this, it's very helpful for them. It helps with cognitive functioning and a lot of other things. So as silly and as simple as this is really very good. This is somewhat similar, if you will, to alternate nostril breathing in yoga. All right, you're in mountain pose. Feet are a few inches apart. You're going to come up onto the balls of your feet and you're going to hover. Now if your ankles break out, pull them back in. Your ankles will break out when you lose your balance. So pull them in. You're squeezing, gently squeezing. You're hovering. You're not up as far as or as high as you can be. And then lower down. Lift it up again. Come up higher. Lower down. And do a few of these. Get the feel of this. Just come up and down. You're not even trying to balance at this point. You're moving so fast that you're just moving. Now you're going to start to slow it down. Raise it up. Hover. Lower it down. Go slow. See what happens to your ankles. See what happens to your balance. When you start to fall back, the ankles kick out. Come up and hover and shift your weight to your right leg. Shift your weight to your left leg. From side to side. Back to center. Come back down. All right. From here, shift your weight to your right foot. Pick up your left knee right in front of you. Flex your left foot. Lift up through the sternum, bring your hips back. So you're not reaching forward, you're not back bending here. Take your knee out to the left. Take the right hand to the hip. Strike a pose. Bring the knee forward. Set it down. Other side. Shift the weight to the left foot, pick up the right. Flex that right foot. Take that right knee out to the right. Left hand to the hip. Bring the knee forward. Set it down. Reach up, look up, come all the way down. Inhale, come all the way up. Sigh on the exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Come on, I want to hear you. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, take it back up. Grab your left wrist. Lean over to your right. Shift your weight to your left leg. Come on back up top. Switch. Leaning to the left, shifting the weight to the right leg. Take it back up. Release down. Take your left knee all the way up. Gather it in. Pull it in. Right leg is straight, torso is vertical. Bring it back down. Right knee comes up. Bring it in. Hug it. Take it back down. Let's do something I haven't done in a while. Come to the top of your mat. We'll do a sun salutation. You able to see me here? Okay. So, on your mat, standing in Tadasana. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, come into a forward bend. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhaling, release, plant your hands, step your right foot back and then your left foot back. Your body is in a straight line, or hips are as high as your shoulders. So, plank pose. From here, lower your knees, lower your chin and chest, then your hips. Then come into a very low bent arm cobra. Bring those shoulders down and back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Curl the toes. Come on into downward dog. Start to slowly pedal out. You've already had some forward folds, so you won't be as tight as you normally are when you use down dog as your stretch. Take a look forward, come up high on the balls of the feet. Step your right foot forward, then your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. And then come up strongly, reaching the arms wide and overhead. Palms together in front. Let's do the other side. Take it up. All the way down. Gaze forward on the inhale. Release down. Plant the hands. Left foot steps back, followed by right foot. Lower the knees. Chin and chest. Hips come down. Cobra. Still bent arm. And then downward dog. Take a look forward. Raise the heels up. Step your left foot forward. Then your right. Inhale, halfway. Exhaling, release. Inhale, come all the way up. Looking up. Palms come together down in front. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice your breath. Notice your balance. Inhale the arms overhead. Forward bend once again. This is going to be a third sun salutation with modifications if you need. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Plant your hands and either walk, jump, or float. Coming into plank. Lowering down in a straight line if you can, otherwise knees, chin, chest. Coming into upward facing dog, so the legs do not touch. The only thing that's touching is the tops of the feet and the palms of the hands. Back into downward dog. Reach those heels down. Lift your sits bones and feel that delicious stretch. Now raise your heels. Look forward. If you're going to jump, slight bend in the knees. Otherwise, walk forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. And then from here, take your feet shoulder width apart and come into Malasana. So if you can get your heels down, get your heels down. Otherwise, your heels are going to lift up, and that's okay. And take your arms to the insides of your legs. And then take your palms together. Bring the thumbs towards the chest. So you press the upper arms into the inner thighs. And now start to lift your sternum. You're trying to find the integrity of your spine and unround. For those of you who want to play with this pose where we put our hands down, Bakasana, crane, you can. Now playing doesn't mean you necessarily lift your feet up. It means you're moving forward and back. For those of you who can lift your feet up, that's fine. But for many of us, we cannot lift our feet. And I want you to get the feel of going forward, leaning forward, having the confidence and the strength in your arms that they're going to support you even when you do not lift your feet up. Okay? This pose is about your confidence. It's not about lifting your feet up. And then from here, come on down onto your knees, wide knees. And at home, if you have blankets to put underneath each knee, I would recommend that. We're going to go into frog. We're going to take those knees as far apart as we can. And open up the inner legs, the groin area. You're going to come down on your forearms. And you're going to start to move forward and back. Now your feet are positioned in one of a few ways. You can have the toes, big toes touching, so the feet are pointing. You can have the bottoms of the feet touching. Or you can have the bottom or lower legs, the shin area, moving straight back so that the shins are actually parallel with each other and the heels are facing the back of the room or the back of the mat. And as you move forward and back, some of you are going to be able to move forward easier. Some of you are going to be able to move back easier. I want all of you to move forward and back. So when you get to that real tight spot, stay there. Work it for a little bit. And gently pulse. Now the pulsing is slow, and you're moving about 1/8 of an inch, and that's about it. Not moving much. And then move again, move forward and back. And you might need to do that pulsing as you move forward. That might be your tight area. All right, come on back up onto your hands. If you have a crane at home, you can lift your hips up and then sit on the tops of your feet and move. If you want, you can massage in the hip area, either outsides if that's where you felt it. Some of you may be just feeling it on the knees, but also the top crease here of the legs. How y'all doing out there? Give me a tractor trailer blast, okay? Hit an emoji so I know you're alive. Anybody hear me? Okay. Now, you're going to scoot over to the left of your mat. You're going to roll your hips down. And then you're going to take your left foot, cross it over. Now your right foot is kind of underneath your glute. It's not kind of, it probably is. You're going to kick it forward so this, not right glute, left glute. So your left glute can come down. Right foot moves out from underneath your left glute. Now your right thigh should be parallel with the right edge of your mat. So this guy here, this lower leg here, should be parallel with the right edge of your mat. Now clasp your hands, place the hands on the outside of that knee and bring that knee towards your right shoulder. Now, roll forward on your sits bones. Make sure your right foot, your right heel is not in the way of your left glute. So don't let that right heel, this back one here, touch this. And sit up tall. Pull that knee over. You're going to feel a stretch in the outer left glute area. Now take your right arm and wrap it around, grab your right wrist. Now take your left arm and reach it forward and take it up. And turn your torso and set that hand down behind you, right behind the spine, fingers facing away on the floor, and now twist more deeply to your left. Pull your belly in. Press into that left foot. Press it down and forward. That will also activate your abs. Come on back to center. So, we did this in the earlier class. We're going to do it here. We're going to come out of this pose in a different way. Some of you may have done this. We're going to take our hands to the right. Now, watch me first if you've not done this. If you've done this, just go for it. But watch me first. Don't do anything. My hands are to the right of my body. My feet, both feet, are going to stay where they are. I'm going to lean into my arms. I'm going to lift my hips. Do not move. Just watch. And then I'm going to pivot, move my hands over to the left side, and now I'm in the perfect position to go to the other side. Okay? So I'll come back to the start just in case. So the hands go to the right. Lean to the right. Lift those hips up. Lift the knee up, that back knee up. Start to walk your hands back behind you. Walk your hands over to the left side of the mat. Start to sit yourself down so that right foot is now to the outside of that left thigh. That left thigh, of that lower leg, this guy here, is parallel with the left edge of your mat. So, move that front foot way over. Actually, underneath. Okay. Right. Now, take your hands, clasp them, that's it, and pull your knee in towards your left shoulder. Roll forward on your sits bones so you're actually moving the lower back forward and you get more of a stretch in your outer right glute now. Take your left arm, wrap it around the knee, grab your left wrist, pull it in more strongly. Sit up tall still. Breathe. Breathe into the area that is most tight. Take your right arm, reach it forward. Take it up. Twisting to the right, take it back behind you, and deepen your twist. Take that right foot, the one that's in front, one that's on the left side of you. Push down and forward to deepen your twist. And then release to front and center. Unwind. Take the legs forward. Move them around. Wiggle them. And then come into your staff pose, Dandasana. Dandasana, sit up tall. Take the arms up overhead. Reach forward. And come into a forward bend. A forward bend is the counter pose to twists. Come on back up, not just that forward bend, but any forward bend. So, lay down on your mat. If you have a block, or a bolster, or a blanket, you can put it underneath your sacrum. I'm going to grab myself a block. So find that sweet spot for the block under your sacrum, and you'll know it because it just feels nice. It's comfortable. Then your legs are going to go straight up. They don't have to be tremendously active. And that is flexed. You can be relaxed here. And as a matter of fact, that's what you want to do. Close your eyes, turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Now, if anyone wants to come into plow, they can. You can take your legs, reach them. You can come up, support your hips. You can play around in your plow, doing a twist while in plow, or just stay in your normal plow. And when you want to, you can come back down, sending your feet down, knees are bent, pressing up into a bridge pose. And then slowly lower down, bring your knees into your chest. Gently roll from side to side. And take your arms out to the sides, lower your knees to the right. A twist is great, not only for your muscles that are tight, but for your organs inside. It helps to squeeze them. Come back to center and lower your knees to the left. Come back to center. Hug your knees in. Gently roll. And then come on into your Shavasana. Lengthening one leg and then the other. Setting yourself up in this pose to get as comfortable as you can. Allowing the body to totally relax and be supported by the floor. Settling in, sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. Letting go and surrendering. All the while opening your heart, quieting the mind, feeling the breath move in on the inhale and out on the exhale. Enjoying your moment. Total relaxation of the body. Total release and surrender. And with an awakened mind. Feel happy thoughts. Literally feel them. You control your destiny. You control every aspect. Maintain a slow, deep, smooth breath. When the mind gets caught in a thought, bring it back quietly, calmly, with love. Start anew. Come back to the heart. Stay focused. And then become aware of the fact that you are laying on the floor. Move your fingers, wiggle your toes, bend your elbows, and draw your knees in. And then roll to your right side into a comfortable fetal position. Come on up to a seated pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Offering a silent thanks to yourself, to everyone else. Be thankful for what is going on because it's changed your life. It's changed it for the better. If you do not yet see that, look at it a little differently. When you change the way you think, look at things, the things you look at change. Choose joy, nothing else. Thank you everybody for your practice, for your time. Namaste. Have a great day. Yabba dabba doo.